Hey everybody, I just want to come on and talk to you real quick for a minute. Yes, I am wearing the same shirt I've been wearing for days because I only wear it for videos. Still smells clean. So I wanted to ask you a question. Have you ever felt fire on you? Like when I was a kid, I messed around, caught my arm on fire. You know what that's like? You immediately, even as a test, when we were kids, we do like test of manhood. Burn yourself and see how long you can keep it on you. Like burn yourself. See how long you can keep it on you. And that desire, like that drive, like, oh my God, I got to get it off, right? Or if you've ever been super lustful and you're really ready to go, if you get what I'm saying, and you're just like, I know I cannot do this. Like, you can't do it, but you are super ready. You get what I'm saying? And it's like that little war that's going on. You feel like you're engulfed. Your entire body is engulfed, okay? I felt that way just like about less than an hour ago. I felt, I am really tired. Really tired. I was seeing all these pretty chicks in the mirror getting 1,000 likes and really tired of big mouth dudes going on about it. Like, oh my God! Like the most jacked up stuff you can think, and you can see the carnality in them, and yet they claim to be so authentic. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. And they get 100 likes, and they get a couple hundred views, and it's like, dang, bro. How are you so crusty and jacked up? And you got all these people liking all your stuff. All this stuff. It's not that I want likes. It's not that I want likes. I want views and shares. Because that means, and I want really what I want is I want people to watch to the end of my videos, because it's like a workup of an engine. Like a workup of an engine, you get it started and then eventually it starts running good and it revs up and it's like a sports car. Like that's what my videos are. The longer you watch, the better it gets. And so I'm thinking like, man, I'm really, really depressed about this. I'm really ticked off about it, dude. I'm done with it. I'm done with all this fake posing people on here. Just on here for carnality, yet they're Christians somehow. Like, none of them wants to be 100% authentic. Nobody wants to really build a community and a brotherhood and a friendship and a family on here. They're just, I got to do my own thing. I only come on for short spurts of time. You don't understand that Facebook is a massive tool. It's a super powerful tool. It's a super, super powerful weapon. We could use this to change the world. We could. I once seen a man, similar platform, YouTube. I once seen a man by himself start up a campaign to bring a certain soda type back, certain type of soda. And within a very short amount of time, because many others teamed up with him, an entire giant conglomerate corporation brought a certain soda back. And he was a normal dude. And he's a fun dude. I like him. But he was a normal dude. Making videos almost the same as me. That's the power we have. Do you understand? That's the amazing power we have. If we all unify and we all speak with one voice, all the great powers in the world will not have a choice but to do what we want them to do. Why do you think the gay people, why do you think the transgender, why do you think the why do you think all the Islamic crazy Sharia law people, they seem to be having such an effect? You want to know why? Because they're unified with one voice. They have one voice, one goal. Christians don't have one voice or one goal. We have 10 million arguing brothers and sisters. That's what we got. There is no functioning brethren right now. Because if there was, it would only take 100 of us to change the world. You doubt that? Look in the New Testament. These men, that's what they're called. These men that turn the world upside down. That's what they're called. Aren't these the ones that turn the world upside down? I'm telling you guys, we got to have unity. We got to stop coming on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram with the pretty little pics. Oh, I'm so excited. I got 100 likes. Oh, they think I'm sexy and pretty. You know, dude's coming rough and tough. Raw, dude, man, it's messed up. Raw. And they got 100 people listening. Why? Why do they have 100 people listening? I will tell you exactly why. You want to know why? Because they do not look the way I look. They look tailor-made. That's the way they look. Yes, I absolutely could comb my hair. Yes, I could absolutely shave pinstripe. I could do it. I could do it. I could flex and everyone. I just want to show you, okay? I actually do have muscles. I am actually kind of tank. I do. I'm not going to take my shirt off, but you can see through my shirt. I am actually tank. Like, I really do have all that. Why don't I present that? Because that's carnality. That doesn't derive loyalty. That doesn't produce actual results. It produces a highness of likes, a great feeling, and a lust. That's what it feels, you know. Person making that stuff, they get 100 little likes, 1,000 views. They feel like, wow, I'm actually doing something. No, you're not doing anything. Because if you're in real trouble, those people will just scroll along. If you were in a terrible, sin or something, like if you really, crossed the line and did some fornication, got super drunk and got into a fist fight, stay outside of a church or something, these people would be nowhere to be found. I want you to know that. All you pretty chicks on here, if you stopped looking pretty for a second, just for one picture, and you showed what you actually look like, the reality of your folds of your blubber, and you showed the hanging skin off the bottom of your arm, and you actually showed that, I guarantee you none would come to view your stuff. And they would say this person has been a charlatan. They have. And they would probably unlike all your pictures that they previously liked. It's a game. It's a game of carnality. That's what it is. You guys are using the system wrong. The system is to produce results. Whoever created the system, it doesn't matter what their intent was. Anybody with half a brain understands the awesome power that is Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. Imagine if people started being authentic. If a bunch of you here on Facebook really started being authentic, you stopped going in for the views and the likes and all that. Not so much as the views if you're doing what's right, because you need to get people to, you're trying to help them. But the likes and all this and the comments of, oh, you're so pretty, you're so fine. Dude, you're on point because I want to have sex with you. Oh, I didn't say that out loud. Dude, you're on point. Hey, what's up, sister? Because I want to hook up later. Can we do some sex pics over on chat? Oh, I didn't say that out loud. Dude, that's my motivation. But hey, sis, how you doing? Wow, you're preaching true. That's what they're really thinking. And you think somehow that you are actually authentic. It's not reality. Because in a second, they will turn on you if you don't look so pretty. If you're not touching their flesh. If you're not, they will turn away. I want to tell you a cool thing. I used to act like those dudes. And some of you women too. I'd put my hair so perfect. I come on and I get a lot of views without having to share it with any groups. I get a lot of views, get a lot of comments, get a lot of women on here talking all kinds of stuff. Okay, when I was being like that. And then I realized I wanted to try I was growing in the Lord, and I said, I'm going to be authentic now, right? So I broke all that off, and I went straight to the core of being authentic. And you know what happened? You can go see this for yourself. You'll see where I was doing all these things with my shirt off, like, hey, what's up, guys? And holding the pose. What's up, guys? What's up? And showing my muscles off and doing all that. And then you'll see this one where I take a spray bottle and I spray it up my nose. And then I eat some food. And let me tell you why I did that. Is because that's your actual mission field. When I was spraying that up my nose, that's going into hospitals where people are puking on themselves and crapping on themselves, and yet you got to go comfort them and preach the gospel. My hair was really jacked up. I looked really crazy. I was coughing and everything, and I was eating food and looking real gross. But that's your mission field. You're to go down to the bums on the corner and preach the gospel. Jesus said the gospel is preached to the poor. Tell that to John the Baptist so that he knows the authenticity of Christ. Because he was like, are you really the Christ? And he goes, tell him, go back and tell John the gospel is preached to the poor. Now, who are the poor? In those days, to be poor, you were like outside on the ground. You smelt like crap. You looked really ugly, dude. And you were really debased. Like everybody, oh, God, we got to walk by these beggars again? Oh, my God, it's so end of the world. They were like the homeless of today times 100. They really were. It was really bad. And so they didn't even recognize their mission field. Once I stopped showing that carnal picture of myself, that carnal presentation of myself, and I went from carnal to 1,000% the opposite direction, all the way to the most possible, deepest way of being authentic I could possibly do. There's no other way to be more authentic than what I did in that video. And every single person, every single one, even super presentable Christians who present themselves as the most diehard Christians, every single one of them was like, dude, oh my God, what are you doing? Because they were so used to the pretty picture. Every single one abandoned me. Every single one. They didn't just abandon me. They super attacked me, then abandoned me. Because I'm authentic. And I've been authentic this whole entire time. Even when I was doing that, presenting the perfect carnal picture, I was still authentic. I was just trying to discover new ways to pull people in that they would hear the gospel. I wasn't actually like that. Even when I was portraying that, I wasn't even like that. I'm like this, and I've been like this for years. 100% authentic, ready to go. Straight out of the bed, ready to preach. Out of a business meeting, ready to preach. Got off the corner talking to homeless people and donating and helping and making awareness of their cause. And then straight off to preach. After giving a homeless man a hug and smelling like him now. Straight off to preach. Like, I don't got time. I ain't got time for the trickery or games. I ain't got time to fix my hair. Why do I need to fix my hair? So you can lust after me? If you're a woman? Why do I have to shave so perfect? Why do I got to show my muscles on here? Like, why do I have to do it? So you can lust after me? That's not going to build an authentic base. That's not going to build a true congregation who wants to learn. That's going to build a bunch of people who just will flee in an instant, like chaff in the wind. It's not real. I want all you sisters to know on here doing the pretty pictures, it's not real. They will abandon you in a minute. If you showed the authentic side of what women are actually supposed to be like from the Bible, they will leave you in a second. You will get no likes. You will get no shares. You will get no views. I'm being serious. And the only way that you will get any, if you are being authentic, is if you have a pretty face. If you're still holding tight to your eyebrows on fleek and your 10 pounds of makeup, and yet you try to be authentic, like I'm being authentic, you'll still get some views because there's still people that see the carnal physical beauty and they still want to have sex with you. They're not 100% down with you. Not a single one. I'm not making that up. That's reality. I'm not even kidding. I've actually had marriage proposals on here to me. I've actually had many women who were saying that they would leave their own man to come be with me. I've had women that said that they would take me from where I am to where they are. That they would fly from another part of the world to me as fast as they possibly could. That they would leave their place right then and come here now if I would just say the word. They've said that. They proposed that to me. And yet, being a true Christian, I said, no, I cannot do that. And then it turns to anger. It turns to, well, why do you look like that in the pictures if you're not trying to present yourself as that? I'm doing that to get people to come on in. Because I realize that if I look good, then people will want to come in. And then if they come in, they might get something authentic, from the preaching. But it didn't work out. None of it works out. It never works out. You have to be 100% authentic as this all the time. And then the ones who do come around, those are the ones that are ride or die. Those are the ones that are truly loyal to the Lord. They're not looking here for a high five. They're not looking for some me time where we can get private and they can start going into carnality. They're looking for, teach me something so that I can grow, so that I do not fall into wickedness or something, Teach me something cool, new, or tell me what the blueprint is so that I can get on with being authentic, They're very few right now for me. And I see all these other people who are super carnal and acting the part of a today Christian. But if they were, I'm telling you, I just want to break this down on this last point, that if any of you who proclaim to be Christians, acting the way you do, was somehow transported by a time machine back to the first century church and you start hanging around Paul or Peter, I guarantee you they would kick you out of the church. They would probably shun you, and they would get everybody else to shun you as well. And you would be out. And then you would know for sure what I'm saying right now is true. That's reality. The Holy Spirit didn't get them to write all that stuff on accident, That's real. That's really the way it works. You're getting from the devil. The devil is tricking you with fake results that flare up and they seem good. But then I guarantee you that if you women were to dress modest and only show this much of yourself as I do, and you did not try to look pretty, but you just woke up out the bed, threw on a sweater, and just started talking, never preaching to a man, not fixing your hair with no makeup, no golden jewelry, no prettiness, nothing, and your hair was looking crazy like a rat's nest, and you just said, look, guys, I want to tell you, I don't want to preach to you because that's not my position. If you said the exact words, I don't want to preach to you because that's not the position of women. I just want to reveal to you what God showed me. He said that look at this word right here. This is what he pointed out when I was doing Bible study by myself last night. It's so beautiful how he showed me that. But I leave it up to you, brothers, because I am not a preacher and there's no way I could preach or teach you. I just wanted to show you what God showed me, and I think it's pretty fantastic. And I want to submit myself unto any brother who is a true pastor. Would you like to come on and critique what I said? You and your position that God has given you. Let me tell you what would happen if you said all that. All the other sisters would deny you. They'd be like, no, man, no. You can't act like that. You're supposed to have feminism and all these things in our culture today. So, no, don't submit yourself. No way. We are not supposed to, oh, we can't act like that. All the other brothers would be like, oh, dude, she looks gross, and she's talking about, what the, oh my God, skip, and they'd slide right past you. That's real. That would really happen to you. And I'm betting you did more than one of those videos, they would never come back to hear you again. That's reality. I know that because I've been through it. And I'm betting that if any sister did that, they would see what I'm talking about. They would see it's not like what you think. All this stuff that shows that like you're famous and you got a bunch of popularity is fake. It's really fake. So earlier, I'd say about an hour ago, I was really just done, dude. I was like, I'm done. I feel engulfed in the flames. Like, I was really just like, oh my God, bro, I'm done with everybody. I've been on here for days trying to trying to think of the coolest new things, trying to do things on an authentic level, but cool and new that would try to bring people in. Nobody likes any of my funny stuff where I'm just telling funny jokes. Nobody likes my serious side where I'm telling people true, okay? Where I'm talking true. Nobody likes where I'm actually explaining what the Holy Bible says because they're so carnal so that none of them will hear it. Even though the video got like 300 views, nobody wants to comment. Nobody wants to share. Nobody will watch it to the end. Because it's a real subject which really has an effect on us today. The fakeness of women pastors. So they won't even hear it. But if I was a pretty chick, I had my hair all perfect, my eyebrows on fleek, my pound of makeup. I was doing my pretty poses as I talked and flicking my hair. And I made a 45-minute video. I guarantee you 1,000 dudes would be on there. What's up, sis? How you doing? How you doing? I'm trying to get attention. Trying to do 1,000 comments. Oh my God, well, she noticed me so that maybe later I could text her up and maybe do sex pics or have sex with her. That's all it is, man. You don't really have any real authentic fan base. You don't really have anybody that's really listening to what you're saying. The dudes are only agreeing so they can maybe hook up with you or have a chance with you. The girls are listening because they're outside of the will of God, that they would have feminism instead of submission, as God says. So they want to have the power to usurp a man, and they're so, oh wow, how do you get all these dudes to listen to you? Wow, it's amazing. That's absolutely opposing the Bible, but we have all this popularity now, so we think we're real. Wow, this gives claim to what I'm saying too. Maybe if I did the same as she did, I'll have the same effect. And that's the way you guys do. But I guarantee you that if you acted as the women of the Bible, the real ones, I'm like, well, Ruth did this and Naomi did this, and oh, have you ever heard of Esther? I want you to really just stop thinking about the grandiose idea of them mixed in with feminism inside your brain and just go back and actually read it word for word. What does it say to the one? I think it's Esther. The man comes and says to her, a man of God comes and says, as a messenger from God, says to, I think it's Esther, if you do not obey, you and your house will be killed. You will be lost. And God will rise up another one. Tell me now, does that sound like a woman who actually has power and authority? Or does that sound like someone who is under submission and who must obey or will be destroyed? What does that sound like to you? People say, oh, I want to be Queen Esther. Really? Because then you got to submit and obey. You must go into the hard places and submit and obey. That's the way it is. Because if not, if you don't want to do any of that, you're not Queen Esther. You don't know what you're talking about. Everyone says, I want to be as beautiful as Sarah. I want to have foreign infidel kings at 90 years old to love me too and to desire me and have all that. I feel so good about myself. But what does she actually call her husband? She doesn't call her husband or sir or anything. Or Abraham, I love you, Abraham. You know what she calls her husband? Lord. Master. That's what she calls her husband. Full submission. Supreme submission. And then, at 90 years old or something, she was still blessed with super beauty, and even in her old age, far beyond childbearing years, God blessed her with an anointed, appointed child straight from God. You want all that? Call your husband Lord. That's reality. That's right in the Bible. Check it out. So if you're like, no, you know what? I'm going to look on fleek. I'm going to be so fine. Yet I'm going to guzzle a gallon of coffee a day. I'm going to try to run my house like I'm some kind of tyrant and you're a woman. And I'm just going to keep on oppressing men and saying that, you know what? God didn't design this pastor thing only for you, but I'm going to usurp your position that God designed only for you. And I'm going to say somehow it's for me too. Sure, you'll get 100 likes here. Sure. Everybody will, wow, she's so amazing. She's so amazing. You'll all do that? But then you'll stand before God at judgment, and he said, I never said any of that stuff. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are talking to. The devil has whispered to you. I don't know why you were doing all this when I blatantly, easily made it known to you what you were actually supposed to be doing. How could you have been deceived? It was blatantly wrote down, like it's not some kind of a trick. Plain words. The sky is blue. You don't need an interpreter to understand that. So you can have 1,000 likes down here and 100 followers who want to have sex with you. But in the end, best be real careful because God probably is going to say to you, depart from me, you who work iniquity. I never knew you. You shall go into eternal punishment. Not a good idea. I'd really weigh it out. Really consider your options here. So I was having that flame on me. And I just want to say for dudes as well. If you got the perfect little mustache and your little goatee and you look so and you talk so tough like man's gotta be man, you know, and you gotta work a job, dude. I ain't gonna be out here with, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for all that, dude. You know what I'm saying? I gotta love my wife. I gotta have sex with her. I gotta love her down, girl. Like, if you're doing all that, and you're saying, dude, you should never, oh my God, bro, what's up with all these sex dolls? I'm not trying to point out a specific brother, but he's a typecast of many other carnal Christians and many other brothers that act that same way. And when you're saying all this, you're presenting yourself big tough guy. I just want to know, did you save yourself? Are your works saving you? Last I checked, the only real man that was on the scene in the entirety of human history and all the way past where I'm going to become in a grave and bones and dust, and even 1,000 years from now, if the Lord tarries, the only one that was ever a real man was Jesus, King Jesus. And he was the only one that did what was able for him to do. The only one that it was possible. He was the only one that could do it. Oh, and I looked and I saw a great sealed, I forget what it's called, a great sealed thing with 7 seals. And it was called out who in heaven, on earth, and underneath the earth could unloose the 7 seals. And there was silence in heaven. And there was found that none could loose the seals on the scroll. That's what it is, a scroll. And John says, I wept bitterly because there was none found worthy. But then, the Lamb who was slain from the foundations of the earth was found worthy. The only one in existence found worthy. So you think you're going to go around and talk tough and act tough and try to portray manly image. Oh, I walk around with my big arms. I'm going to start working out. I'm going to do all this. Really? What you're trying to do, really, is sell some carnality and lust to the sisters that you might get a hotter girlfriend than the last one that didn't look so good. Okay, let me tell you. I got to be 100% real with you, dude. I was in the same place as you. Sure, I got some super hot women that wanted to be with me, but what does that do? What does that do? What does that lead to? Oh, let me just tell you what it leads to, okay? It leads to fornication. It leads to a botched marriage that could happen. It leads to bastard children who will never know their dad because the woman seems dissatisfied once she realizes you're an authentic Christian. You feel sorry for what you did. She's like, oh, you're not going to be a part of my carnality? Well, I ain't dealing with all this. I don't want this oppressive thing where women have to submit. Then they roll out and take the kids, and you're stuck with child support for the rest of your life, or for the next 18 years, and you don't get to see them kids anymore, all because you decided to be fake and carnal to incite some lust. Great job. Great job. That's what you want. That's what you'll get. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. And you'll reap that. That's a guaranteed fact. You're going to reap that. But no. Just keep on, right? Because you're the one who got yourself saved, right? You're the one that actually died on the cross, and you're resurrected now, right? That's how that works. Stupid. So dumb. So arrogant and stupid. You really are. A lot of you brothers. And that's reality. And I can say that because I was once stupid and arrogant and prideful and dumb. That's real. You want to know what a real man is? Somebody who's meek and somebody who obeys the king. Doesn't talk about, oh, I'm a tough guy or all this, because I want to tell you, I really am a tough guy. I don't need to talk about it. Because I know I am. If you're walking around like, dude, man, this is crazy, bro, blah, 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 then you ain't really tough. Because you ain't been in the face of other dudes that could stomp you out. And I bet you ain't having that same attitude when they show up. You're not. You're not tough in any way. You ain't stood in front of a bunch of people. No, it's not possible. You might see me and be like, oh, this dude's ugly, he's little, he's timid, he's weak. Oh, no. I used to ride with Crips. I used to ride with Hell's Angels. I used to hang out with murderers and drug dealers. I can't even say the rest because it's too bad. It's way too crazy. But, yeah, I was really about that life. And the Lord changed it. If right now, Cartel wanted to take my head off, or, do a ritual killing on me, wouldn't be so big of a deal because I know how they work. So I'd just present the Lord, and maybe one out of the group might eventually turn to him. And I'd be in a pile. Or somewhere. I ain't going to get into that. I might be buried in the desert somewhere. But at least it might affect somebody. ISIS could come in, cut my head off. They think I'm going to cry about it? They think I'm going to convert to Islam about it? No, I'm not. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. I've seen many die. No big deal. You're going to slowly saw my head off with a rusty blade? No big deal. No big deal. You don't scare nobody. Well, I mean, you might have scared a lot of people because there are a lot of fake and posing dudes on here. You don't scare me, though. I've seen a lot. So it's no big deal to me. Come on around with your big tough guy attitude. And then you'll meet, there is no objects around here to show you how big I am. Not big and fat, but how big of a dude I am. But I've got a couple pictures to give you some perspectives. A can of soda to me is like that big. It really is. A can of soda is like that big. Have you ever seen any of my kids in here? They're like 5 and 6 years old. They're decent sized kids. They're about this tall. And I'm sitting on my bed and they're about this tall. And their heads are only like this big compared to my head. I'm not a little dude, so you ain't gonna scare me in no way. Because if I really wanted to, you don't even want to know, okay? Okay? I'm trained. I'm trained. I just want to say that, okay? I'm not some little weakling that doesn't know anything. I'm swinging for the fences. I'm actually trained. so I would know what to do. All right, if I was ever in that position. But thanks be to God, He has truly changed me. So I'm not ever, even if I got in that situation, it wouldn't even go down like that. I'd try to talk peace, which you might see as cowardly, but I want to tell you the most powerful being in all of existence was meek and peaceful and gentle and loving. I mean, really think about it. When he was on the cross, he said he could have come down. When he was being arrested, when he could have come down, don't you know that my Father will give me a legion of angels right now? Let me tell you a cool fact. 2 angels sent by God destroyed 2 giant cities of the plain, Sodom and Gomorrah. Just 2 angels did that. Wiped them out so good, archaeologists still can't even find them to this day. Like they turned them to dust and ashes. That's amazing, dude. I'm talking concrete. They didn't have like all the weird building materials we have now. No, they made their stuff out of stone and out of clay, like super hard stuff. Imagine melting a stone with such fervent heat that it becomes as dust and ashes. That's how good God did it with these 2 angels. Read it for yourself in Genesis. Now, he said a legion, and I'm thinking a legion's about 1,000. Imagine 1,000. They could have destroyed the entire planet, wiped out humanity to rescue the Lord Jesus Christ. And the Lord Jesus Christ, being all powerful, as a part of the Godhead, was gentle and meek and peaceful and promoting peace. So is that weakness? You tell me. You know what I think is real power? When somebody with the infinite might that cannot be measured, that could just think the thought and everybody on earth would die or become dust, or that the world could become a puff of smoke and everyone would instantly die, or that he could just think it and everything that exists would no longer exist. He could speak the word, do not exist. No longer be in existence. And everything that is would no longer be. He could do that. He could do that. With the word of the mouth and the thought of his mind. That's Jesus. That's a possibility he has. And yet, he allowed them to crucify him. He allowed them to spit. Okay, let me tell you something fantastic. Jesus could have went to the cross and just been killed. That could have been the punishment to get us all saved. That would have been acceptable. But that's not all that he allowed them to do. He allowed them to whip him, spit in his face, rip out his beard, strike him across the face, put thorns in him, mock him, put a robe on him, mock him as, oh, you're a king, like that. Take him before soldiers, and they all struck him and spit on him and mocked him. This went on for hours and hours and hours. At any point, this infinitely powerful Jesus could have thought the thought, and he could have just thought the thought, and they would have all turned inside out and their guts hanging out. He could have turned them inside out. Think about it. He could have thought the thought and made the entire building implode on them and crush them all to death. The ceiling to come this way, and the walls to come this way, and the floor to go up like a ball and smash them. Or slowly enclose them, and the walls are closing in like a trash compactor and crushing them. He could have done that. He could have also commanded their spirit to bow, and they would have bowed, and they would have all kissed his feet. He could have said that, but he didn't. And that's true power. That's power to know that you can eradicate them all, and yet you would be peaceful and have meekness, that you would rather sow peace than destruction. That's real power. So when you go around acting like a tough guy, the ones who are tough We see the illusion. You're not fooling anybody. You're really not fooling anybody. Why do you even do it? Why do you even do it? If you'd have known me 15 years ago, oh my God, bro, you would have been like a crying choir boy compared to me. You've been all peeing your pants wishing that you could find some kind of a phone to call your mom to pick you up. Because it would not be good. People I run with, they would have seen that. They would have been like blood in the water for sharks. We would have tore you up in a sec. In 1 second, dude. You would have been our gopher. You would have been go get me something. We would have shot at your feet. I'm not gonna get into it. we would have tormented you good. But yeah, I ain't gonna get into it. But it's stupid. It really is. People put a front on here that's not real. They're on the other side of a camera phone trying to be tough for a minute, or a woman trying to be real sexy for a minute. But in reality, at 2 in the morning, you don't look like that. In the middle of the day, you don't look like that. You know you don't look like that. When dudes are eating something and they're actually secretly watching SpongeBob, and they're like 30 years old, 25 years old, they don't look like they're shoveling some Hot Pockets in their mouth, and they're watching SpongeBob and laughing about it. Dude, they're not the tough guy they portray on here. It's not reality. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's fake. And because I see all this fake, got me, because I'm authentic, I am the real deal. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm about to quit. I'm done. I'm going to take this computer, really, and I'm just going to snap it in half and throw it in the garbage. I'm done, dude. I'm so done with this. Because people would rather have the carnal than the authentic. It's weird. I understand it by human nature, because you're not growing your spirit, that you would want the authentic. You're used to all the carnality of this world because you're in a meat suit and you just agree with it, you know? You just agree with it. So in that fashion, I had a choice. And those flames were on me, and I was in the thick of the battle, like, dude, I'm about to end it all here. Not end it all with me. I mean, like, end all this garbage. I'm done with all this. And go back to my other ventures. Writing, making business deal to go into motion pictures, like everything, dude. To go off, I could be a public speaker right now. I could be having private conferences. I get paid $10,000 a conference. I could do that. I could be writing right now for the Washington Post if I really wanted to. I could do it. And you guys think that, oh, he's just like the suckiest, lowest, so we might as well just ignore him. Okay. I'm the diamond in a pile of garbage. Like, literally, this Facebook is like a pile of garbage. I'm a diamond that's encased in a bar of gold. And I'm like somehow stuck in the middle of you. And all you pieces of garbage, I'm not calling anybody pieces of garbage, but all the rest of the garbage heap is like, yay, let's celebrate that we're garbage. And I'm just stuck here like, what is happening, dude? Do you guys not see the value of this? I'm actually as the guys from the Bible. And yet you're proclaiming that you're a Christian, and you don't even know what it is to actually be physically a Christian. You just know what it is to be verbally a Christian. They honor me with their mouth, but their heart is far from me. From the heart produces the ways of a man. So if in your heart you're a real Christian, it will show on the outside. But if by your mouth you're a real Christian, it won't show on the outside. You can proclaim a thing all day, but the reality is you probably not it, you know. So, you know, it's the way things are. And so I had a choice. I could either do a video where I'm flipping out, as I've done before, that nobody takes heed to, or I could do a video where I'm just laying it out flat as I can right now, right here, telling everybody like it is, as calm and gentle as just having a normal conversation with somebody. And this is 45 minutes, so I'm pretty much betting nobody's to this point. If anybody is to this point, I have a secret word, okay? At the 45-minute. Ready? Pikachu! If you write Pikachu in the comments, then I know for sure that you've watched this. And just in case anybody's just skipping along and saying amen, because it's on the timer, you get what I'm saying? I'm skipping 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay. At the 46.5 minute, I'm going to say another word. And if you can say that, then I'm not going to say it. No, it's not going to be at the 46.5 minutes. I'm just going to say a word randomly, and then I'll know what the time is. And you'll know what the time is. And then you write that word in the comments. And I bet you that nobody is going to be able to say that. Or very few. Because nobody wants authenticity. Nobody wants to go the way that actually works. They just want to do it the quick, easy way that actually produces no results. A glorified fervency of likes and stuff, but there is no authentic bedrock underneath. It's just like a pillowy cloud of, wow, I feel good. But then you fall from the air to your doom, okay? When it's all ripped out from under you, if you're ever to be authentic a few times. Really, I'm telling you. So I'm telling you, okay? That's the way things are. And that's the way things are. So if you're tired of all that, come on here, team up with me, and let's get on with it. Let's really build a community. Let's really rebuild the brethren. And let's be 100% authentic. Let's do it by the book, and literally by the book, by the Holy Bible. And let's get on with it. I mean, aren't you tired of it? Aren't you tired of coming on here, getting a couple likes if you're a girl, getting some likes if you're a showboating dude, and then going back to your hollow emptiness where you know you're all jacked up because you're not being authentic? Or aren't you tired of being authentic on here and then having nobody to team up with because everyone's so hollow and shallow and vain and carnal? And then you're left disillusioned like, man, this sucks, dude. I'm all by myself. If that's you in any of those cases, come on over to my page, talk to me on chat. Let's figure a way where we can start our own group that real people who are 100% authentic can actually go and have community and family and fellowship, okay? Let's do that. That can be our step one in many steps that lead to a great and amazing thing, a world-changing organization. And it can start with step one. Despise not the day of small beginnings. Potato salad. All right? Okay, so let's get on with it. You know what it is, okay? You know what the word is now. So let's see if anyone does it. If anyone knows the two words. It's going to be great. All right, guys. Our Lord family, our Lord God loves you, and that's all I wanted to say. I'm getting ready, and I want to see, what the Lord has to say to me tonight on church. I'm so excited. Really, let's get on with it. Bless the King.